Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another fun episode of Photoshop Party. Today is September something. I don't even know anymore.
21st.
Thank you. We are going to kind of do a show and tell of images that we entered into International Photographic Competition, IPC, with PPA. If you don't have images, that's okay. You can still watch and see what we did. Reminder, if you have IE image excellence loan images, please do not show them today. We do have a judge in the room, and then also this is being recorded. They are still judging for the GIAs, the Grand Imaging Awards, and so we don't want to influence Dennis at all. Well, I do, but oh, you need more money. God, he's greedy. Anyway, we want to keep it on the up and up and make it as fair as possible. So does anybody want to volunteer to go first, or should I kick it off? Okay, I'll kick it off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen real quick. And this is my first image. And it was titled Late Night Drink. Let me get rid of my rulers up there. And this one did not merit by a vote of 3-2. So I think part of the reason was that it was too centered, but that's the way I liked it, and that's the way I entered it.
You mean 2-3?
I was outvoted 3-2.
Okay.
Or 2-3.
You're right, Dennis. Yes, Dennis, you're correct.
Three judges voted not in favor. 2 judges voted in favor. So, and this was my favorite image going into it. So that's okay. I'm happy with the way my case turned out anyway. Let's try. This is image number 2, for the people and by the people, merited. I think it was 7-1 because one person didn't judge it, I think, against the imaging excellence or against the loan. It did merit though. And this is the state capitol in Idaho in downtown Boise. One of my first images that I shot while I was here after I moved here. So, and image number 3 that merited is Frozen in Time.
Nice.
It merited and was an 8-1 against image excellence. I've already had a couple people ask for it for a screensaver, and one wanted it printed for her wall, which makes me very happy, and I'm glad that somebody liked it.
Could you explain for the uninformed what does image excellence mean as opposed to just meriting?
Back in the days of old, last year, they called it a loan image, and okay, they've changed the terminology this year to image excellence. And
the best of the best.
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
And Dennis, do you know the reasoning behind that by any chance?
I do.
Good. We don't want to hear it. I just want to know if you knew it.
Well, I'll explain. Well, just so you know, back in the day, the loan images were loaned out to different organizations, states, and different places could borrow them and put them on display. So it was called the traveling loan or loan collection. And now that they don't do that anymore, they thought that that was a old style term, and which I love, loan, but now it just doesn't have quite the same as image excellence. It just doesn't have the same ring to it. But anyway, that's why, in a nutshell.
Yeah. Anyway, when I entered this in Professional Photography of Idaho, I had a pure white border on the outside. And when I and it was in color, I believe. When I sent it to Sherry, Dennis's wife, who's not a judge or not a national judge, she recommended toning down the white outside border so that it would not make the snow look so muddy. And so taking her advice, I did that, and you can see there's a little bit of color difference still, but it's not making the snow look muddy. So listen to your people that are judging it, that know what they're talking about, and take their advice. Obviously I couldn't send it to Dennis or to any other national judges because they would be judging it, and I did not want them to have to recuse themselves. So
Just for the record, I was on the panel when that came up, and I did recuse myself on the loan panel.
Remember that.
because you knew whose it was.
I thought I go, that looks a lot like Michael's, but you know what? It's better to do that than come back and say, hey, did you judge somebody's image you knew?
Yeah, because you saw it at Idaho.
Yeah,
So-
but just what Michael just said about the borders and all the critiques and all the things I've seen this year, a border to me will not keep an image out, but it will enhance the total presentation look. And if anything, that's been one of the biggest challenges I've had, is seeing people with the inappropriate borders to go along with their images. So just evaluate your image and put the border, try out several different borders, and don't just rely on one.
And I think borders and titles are probably the two hardest things to come up with for your image. I don't know which ones. I think borders are probably harder than titles, but I know titles are super hard. So
Dennis, do you see many full bleed ones anymore?
Only from people who don't know what they're doing. Honestly, I'm honest. There's a lot of people who get the full bleeds are people who aren't familiar with the procedures and things. And then when I judge the MPIO, the Canadian, or I judge Mexico, they're almost all full bleed. Other countries are. The United States is one of the few places that require borders or presentations.
Oh, it's a requirement from PPA?
It's one of the 12 elements called image presentation. So that's just how people prepare, so you can keep the viewer or the judge's eyes within the image. And some people get real elaborate borders, and some, actually I have some samples of people that it's just crazy borders, but you want to, it's one of the things I think that they need to look at, because the people put too much emphasis on the borders, especially in the States.
Mike,
yes,
with showing images today, are we looking for feedback from people, or we're just showing
If-
images, or?
if you want to give feedback, you're more than welcome to.
I'm just asking,
yeah.
just curious.
If you want feedback or you want to give feedback, well, for me, I'm wide open. If you have something you want to say about my images.
I don't. I
Okay.
just was curious, because I know we just kind of went through them, and then, then you stopped sharing the screen, and I wasn't sure if there was where we were going. That's
Well,
all.
I didn't want to hog the whole time, so I'm gonna let other people share. But if you want me to show go back to any of the images, let me know. Okay. That's all about Mikey. Mel, you want to go next?
Sure. Let me see if I can figure this out here. Let's see here. Share. And I want to share Photoshop.
And just a reminder, everybody, no lone images or image excellence.
Okay, so this one did merit, and on the lone image, it went 2-3 against. Let's see here. This one also was a merit image, and this one went 0-5 on the lone, which I was not surprised on. And then this image, I was a little surprised, did not merit and went 0-5 on the merit.
Did they give you a reason, or did they challenge it at all?
Nothing. It came and went faster than I almost was able to get a screenshot. And that was the one thing I kind of noticed, Dennis, that sometimes the judging happens so fast. I was actually surprised that they could actually look at the image and think about the 12 elements and then judge it. I mean, because some of them their no votes were in there almost as quick as the image popped up.
I have been very vocal about that.
Thank
And
God.
And I'm actually surprised I'm still on the list some days. Because I don't think you can look at an image and assess and evaluate it in a second.
I
whatever.
agree.
And so I've been very vocal about that. And in fact, this last time when I judged, he wasn't calling me on the carpet. He said, "You were the last person to put in every time, almost every time." And I go, "Thank you," because I respectfully made sure I was taking a second or two to look at every image. And if I was the last person, fine. I'm fine with that. If they want to kick me off for that. But Mel, I'm just going to give you a couple of suggestions on this. Right between the lion's legs, the tonality is brighter than what I'm seeing going through the background. And that foreground out of focus, but just try something for me next time you do want to play with this, because since you didn't merit, you can re-enter it again. You know
Correct,
that, right?
correct.
Just try a fine art white mat around it and try the white art mat instead of that. And,
Okay.
and if you had more space across the top, what was the title of this?
King of Kings.
Yeah. So I would maybe, so the kingdom, it looks like he's almost too big in the picture. So maybe give a little more grandeur and a little more space at the top, and maybe try a white mat and just see how you feel about it.
Okay. Perfect.
Then use that same little gold stroke the way you got it there.
Okay. All right.
How do you feel about the double stroke on that, Dennis?
The first one is so thin, I can't hardly see it. So that's not a big deal. It's when they have two of them at 12 pixels a piece that scare me.
That's a little much.
Oh, trust me, I have seen it. So when it's that thin, I have no problem with it. And then the second one a little bigger. So I have no problem with it. The thing in the foreground, there's that out of focus in the lower right, and then the out of focus in the center. And I think you could probably just, clone in dark mode and take some of that out to bring the focus into the animal, so they're not hitting that out of focusing. The first thing they see is a journey through the image.
Okay, fair enough.
My comment would be that the title, we know that lions are the king of the king, but he doesn't, to me, look very regal. He seems more relatable. Maybe a relatable title for him would be, because he seems like he's very friendly, and I don't know.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Yeah. Now, why don't you step up a little closer and see how friendly he is?
That's about 500 millimeters close enough.
That's with your 500.
That is shot probably at, let's see, it was a 400 millimeter on a mirrorless, so that's 800.
Yeah, see, that's what people understand, is that your depth of field is almost paper thin when you start pushing things
Exactly.
that far.
That's exactly right.
And I understand that, but what I'm saying is the judges don't know that. And
Correct.
that out of focus area could easily have been sharpened up in that foreground a little bit and alleviate that. But no, try that, play with it, and play with the white mat on that. And just,
Okay.
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised when you see the difference.
All right. Thank you.
Cool.
Question, why would he want to have the foreground sharpened up? Because that's not really the subject of the lion is. I would think he'd want it out of focus.
I understand that. And yes, I do, because I do animals and critters too, but you have to understand not everybody on these panels are critter shooters and landscape shooters, although they try to get them that way. But the first thing I see as I come up from the very bottom is that out of focus area, which to me detracts a little bit. And then when the judges start seeing that, then they go, well, why is that? And then when they're going so fast, you just try to alleviate anything that's going to make the judges question the image at this point.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's it's just gotten to be, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that makes
that's a fair
sense.
statement, Dennis. Yeah.
I'm going to be in trouble again. I can tell.
No, it's a fair statement what you're saying. So,
Okay.
Right. And then I can't show the fourth image because that one did go image excellence.
Well, we can do another
Yay.
program. We can do another program with those, but congratulations.
Yeah. And by the way, that was his first image excellence. You the man.
Hey Dennis, thanks for speaking up for that, because I've seen judges, when you bring up a print, 30 seconds later, it's down.
30 seconds too.
All right, it's just an
There-
example, okay?
There
Don't
are
take that
some,
real-
there
Yeah.
are
Don't
some
take,
that you
don't take
can,
the number for faith, but I'm saying it goes that quick that
Hmm.
to the point you go like, well, there's gotta be one comment on it at least, and they just kind of disregard the whole thing, they just.
You
And I've
know,
heard story, and I've heard stories say, well, we have 120 images. Okay, we have 130.
well,
in
Yeah,
this
if
case, they're
it-
not commenting on everything.
yeah, we can't comment on everything because like this image, when we had 5,100 images and state levels. And I'm just going to be fair and blunt with this. Not every image deserves comments. People want to have a personal critique on every image. And as a judge, we cannot comment on everything. Because what happens is in judgings, and I'm just going to say it because I've done a lot of them, is that they have a score. And if it doesn't go, if it isn't challenged, then they want the judges to comment on it. So I think that's wrong in a couple of ways. I understand that they want comments on everything, but when you're breaking up the mojo of the judging with making them make comments on every image, so then they'll say, okay, Dennis, you got to do the next one. So I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to say about this? Because now I'm still looking, I also got to come up with the concepts. So I think it's stronger if they get if pay for the critiques and do work. And I understand they're trying to get the critiques, but it's also breaking up the mojo of the judges cruising along and getting in the mode. But that again is only my opinion.
And there's some images that a second and a half is plenty. It's like not going to make it anywhere. And then there's others that the judges actually stop and enjoy and look at it for a second and enjoy the image. So,
And that's my point. I don't mean for everybody to make a comment, all four of them. I'm just saying, somebody just say something for, a minute, if so, about the comment, even so it's not going to score.
well, with 5,000 images, it's hard to do, in a
I'm
local
talking-
affiliate, in an
I'm talking
affiliate
local.
level. Yeah. Affiliate level is one thing, state and national, international, to have somebody be able to comment on each image, just isn't reasonable.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm talking about local.
Yeah. Local, we do.
So Dennis,
Okay.
there's with a white mat.
You like that better?
Does the brightness of the white mat take your eye away from it?
Okay, then like we did told him before is maybe go in instead of go into a lighter gray or go into
Right,
go to the bluish mat and then just go down up towards the white mat on the
right. Okay.
the thing for me, like the black mat made it more ominous. And this
Uh-huh.
makes it, to me, this makes it more fine art approach.
Okay, fair enough.
But,
Hey, Mel.
I'm just one judge.
Yeah.
Mel,
So
just,
just a quick thought to see. So
I don't know if I'm just thinking here with the colors that are in the lion and the ground and all that stuff. If you were gonna play around with it, what about trying a golden type of sunset and see what that looks like?
Gold sunset, sunset's pink. You don't want the gold against the pink because it's an off color.
No, I mean, changing the background if he was gonna enter it in a different, I don't know. I was just thinking.
Well, that was the sky that day, wasn't it?
that was the
Mel?
actual sky.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky,
Yeah, that was
lucky.
the actual sunrise that we had.
Mhm. Just a thought.
Yeah. Okay. I was just, I just wanted to just throw it up there real quick.
It'll grow on. Yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
tone it down from 255 down to 240 or so.
Yeah.
Try that. Okay. Bruce, do you have anything you want to share?
Sure.
Or are you all alone?
3 loan.
Oh, congratulations.
Mr. Platinum Boy.
Yeah.
I missed Diamond by 1 vote.
That's killer.
Bastards.
There's always one.
I was telling John earlier that I think everyone should be given 1 magic bullet to change 1 vote.
I like that.
Power of veto.
Yes.
But the term bullet implies something else.
Especially in Idaho.
That's is that a church?
That is the hermitage in Russia.
Wow.
That's very
Beautiful.
cool.
I was really surprised when it didn't go. This is one I thought was a shoo-in based on all the other competitions because everyone had loved it. And this thing came up and boom, it's gone.
That's really interesting because I'm reading a series of books called Brad Thor and some men's adventure type books, but they actually just talked about the hermitage in Russia. And in the last book I was reading, this is the hermitage they were talking about. That's
Yeah.
right. But you know, the thing is architect, you know, a lot of people there aren't doing architectural photography is really tough because there's very few people who do commercial architecture. And, you know, they're all looking for this and tones and lines and things. And the big thing is looking for the straight lines. And I think you did a nice job with the straight lines. You put everything together there. I can't tell you why they didn't. What do you remember what the vote range was?
It was just, I think it was 4 against 3 for it.
And see, as judges, we don't know what those are. We don't know whether we're 1 or 7 against. We don't know because we don't get to see what you guys see at home. I don't know if you guys knew that. We as judges, we don't know that. And in fact, they told us under no circumstances be running a second monitor so you can see what the other judges are looking at. Because apparently some had been, and that helps to influence their decision. And they just said under no circumstances were we supposed to be doing that. So we don't know what the ratio is. And I was told there were several times when I challenged, I was the Lone Ranger and I took them back up to unanimous. So it's just what we believe in, what we feel.
Yeah.
My question on this is the door is off to the right in the back just a little bit, so it's off center. Would it score better being a centered door straight on?
I don't think that make any better difference. I mean, I think what they're looking at is, you know, the lighting and tones. Now, if you would have had a naked model of him, that it probably went alone. I'm just,
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to ask one of the matrons there who was watching everything like a hawk to strip down for me. So
yeah, but I've seen some of those Russian women.
You could put the lion in the middle of that.
yeah.
There you go.
So okay, thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing, Bruce.
15 minutes.
And
I'll go.
okay, Eleanor, you're up.
Oh, what did I just? Oh,
Share
I
your
am sharing my
screen.
screen, I guess. Hang on.
It's
Get
okay.
rid of the rest of this stuff. All right. Oops. That is awfully small. Sorry.
Hit
Can you just zoom it up on your screen on your Photoshop?
Command 0 or Control. Yeah, your Command 0,
Okay, there we go.
and then hit F, and then hit F again.
There you go. Full screen.
They're so smart.
So that's one of them, and that one did not merit. It was 1 yes and 4 no's, 3 no's. Not sure how many were on the panel. I think 3 no's.
Probably 1 and 4.
Yeah. 1 and
Well,
4.
there was a lot of loan panels that end up going 5 because they just didn't have the manpower. But as I look at it, I'm looking at the image. Your sky is kind of blooming out. I understand we see those kind of skies out here in the West and California and all these places out here, but the sky is kind of blooming. But I think you got that bold flowers in the bottom left, which kind of adds some dimension because you got some on the other side. But I think that one of the bigger things is your horizon's dead center almost. It's almost dead center, and we just need to be cautious about that.
Okay. Okay. And then, whoops.
Did you burn down the back section? Is that some of the area been burned down from about maybe a third of the way down? Has that been toned down?
No,
Okay.
it's Patagonia. Mm-mm. Now we were here at the crack of dawn, and that was the sun rising. So do I need to, Mike, you gave me all these commands. How do I get out of the to move to the next
Hit
image?
F or escape, either one.
Okay,
That's a beautiful shot though. Patagonia, I'm jealous. That's one of my bucket lists.
that's another one. And that one merited, but did not go image excellence.
I really like the tone and texture in that. I really like those rocks.
Thank you. And then I think I did that one. Yep. Then this one merited, but did not go IE. And then this one.
Hmm.
That one did not merit. 2 yeses, 3 nos.
I love that one.
They didn't.
Well, obviously.
Eleanor, just out of curiosity,
Uh-huh.
what happened if just grab your crop tool and just crop the horizon off and just get the waves? Just grab your crop tool and just
hit-
crop, yeah, and just crop off, bring off your black there, and so you don't have any horizon, no ground, no nothing.
Okay,
And bring it in from the left a little bit, just a tad, so the wave action's coming in right there, and then bring your other side in right to your edge right there. Now there's a pretty picture. I mean, the other one's pretty too, but now you got something that's just a graphic art piece.
okay.
That's
Just a
beautiful.
thought, just a
Okay.
thought.
So how would you categorize that then, Dennis?
How do you categorize being an illustrative?
Illustrated, okay.
Although there's a friend of ours from Hawaii, and John knows him, he hadn't entered very much, and he entered a portrait, a wave in portraits last year, and it went lone.
Well, I saw somebody that entered a rock in portrait this year.
I saw several of them.
Yeah.
There again, these people don't understand. No, there's a drop down when you enter that you can put into those. So Eleanor, I think that, I mean, if you chose to do that, go that direction or find something like that, I think that would be, I mean, I'm just trying to crop off and give you some different ideas and thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's a totally different image.
And it did not merit,
It did not.
so you can re-enter it.
I can.
Try it at PPLAC and see how
It
it scores
it
there.
merited the other way with PPLAC, so I don't.
Oh, okay,
think
so
I
you
can
can't.
do that. Yeah,
If you have a second picture like that, then you could.
right. I took more than one, so I'm sure I have something
It's
similar.
beautiful. That's a beautiful image.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Mr. Power, do you want to show
Oh.
anything off?
Sure. Let's see here. Okay, this did not merit.
What was the title?
Magenta Rising.
Well, can I give my opinion or do you
Oh,
care?
sure. Of course. My days.
Well, first of all, I mean, you've got an interesting subject here, but I'm looking at your matting, and you went to a great extent, and I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors of mats. I think you could have used a little more simplicity. That outside mat is a little strong, and
Uh-huh.
I think if you were a cut on the inside of your magenta mat and just leave it that green, I think you would have been a lot stronger piece. Or even crop the mat so the flower was coming out of the lower left, and then crop off some of that other area, make it
Oh.
a square mat. So
Sure.
I mean, I think you got the niggy space is nice, but you got almost too much niggy space, and therefore it's very centered, and it is loses its impact.
Okay, good.
But
Thank
that,
you.
again, like I say, these are only my opinions.
No, I value it. That's good. And then I only
Well-
have, yeah.
My Venmo account is, no, just kidding.
And then this is my other one. This merited barely, and that was it.
Beautiful.
Did not loan.
What was the title?
Holy Temple at Dusk.
Do they not turn the lights on that in the building? Do they not turn the lights on
They
inside?
have spotlights on them, but not in them, no.
Mm.
I mean, I've seen this particular structure numerous times, and I thought I'd seen like lanterns and things inside and different, maybe it was some kind of ceremony, John. I'm not sure.
Well, it could be since then. I photographed this 2 years ago, and from a historical perspective, it was the first night in 1,100 years that it was lit at night. And I was there the night they did it, and this is that moment. Since then, they might have added more lights, but this was the very first night in over 1,000 years that this temple was lit at night.
Wow.
Well, one of my biggest challenges of this, I know that it's a beautiful structure, is that with that left-hand side, that building and the light from that side,
Yeah,
I feel like that could have been cropped off and redone.
okay.
That
I
crop-
toned it down a lot because it was very bright.
Yeah, I can see that, but is it necessary for the image?
Okay,
And then also that lit tree right behind from the left coming in between the brown one, between the two green ones. That just is, could have been, you got all those greens and then one brown one, it looks like something's dead. So,
okay.
you know, you could have easily, I think, changed the color of that into a green tree to help the context of that.
All right.
Then you would have changed the reflection as well. Remember that.
Right down here. Yeah, down there.
Trust me, I've seen it. That's why I say that, because I've seen people change stuff and they go, huh, they didn't change the reflection.
Yeah. yeah.
Where's this located at?
This is in Kyoto, Japan.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
To the right of the temple, there's a couple of lanterns right where your cursor is.
Here.
Those are a little bit bright, not major distraction, but just slight distraction. If we're
Okay.
critiquing the heck out of it, but
Sure.
beautiful image, I mean, nice and
Mhm.
sharp. And I love the sky.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. That was not dropped in. That's how it was. I changed the color just a little, but that's how it was. So anyway,
beautiful.
okay. Thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you for sharing. Does anybody else have anything to share?
Well,
Dennis?
if I can find mine real fast, I'll share them with you, but I
You
am
only-
just,
You only have a couple that didn't, or one that didn't merit, or
they
didn't go
all,
alone?
they all merited.
I know they
I
all
don't-
merited.
I only got,
Those are okay.
I only got 2 loans, the bastards. Okay. Yeah, well, let me just pull this up here real fast so I can share screen. Because if I'm going to talk about you guys, you have to look at mine too, I guess. So, okay. I got 9,000 things going on. Okay, this image, I know that Michael hates it, but it was,
No, don't hate it. I was jealous of it.
it scored 100 in Idaho, and the title of it goes "The Dreams That Haunt Me." And you look at the title; he's actually a Vietnam vet, POW. The title, I mean, the dreams, the lights come in the bottom. It got the top 10 in district, but it merited, but it did not go alone.
What was the, do you know the score on it?
Yeah, it was 3-2.
Mm.
And it was up faster. I mean, I couldn't have struck a match and lit it any faster, and that thing went past. It went by so fast.
Yep, that's the way it seemed to go. Yeah.
And you know, guys, I'm just telling you, everybody, that unless they get statements from other people, complain about that, because I complain about it all the time. But unless you actually study the eyes and study the hat, you don't know what the image is. And so consequently, you know, I thought this was a shoe-in, but you know, that just goes to show, you know, I got top 10 in the district, I got 100 score on it, but it didn't loan. So it sucks sometimes.
Yep.
And then my last one here, that was,
Beautiful.
what?
It's gorgeous.
It's called Layer Depths of Autumn. And again, it merited, but it didn't go alone.
Wow.
I think I showed this on one of the programs I did, how I layered this with the overlays and the grays and the mats. I think I showed this on one of the programs with you.
Yeah, I think you did, Dennis. Yeah.
Well, there wasn't any judge on there, so I didn't worry about it. So anyway, see, I'm not afraid to show my work, and that's what I am. And see, I like it's interesting. That had the dark mat, a single dark mat, and this had the white mat. And they're
The
very
dark
simple.
mat, the dark mat goes really well with that because it's a dark image. The mood is dark. The
Title.
background's dark.
Oh, I didn't grab black zero color on it. What I did is I went in and grabbed the color as on the background. So that color is the same tone as that background right there. So when I made the mat,
Yeah, when I saw that image come up in Idaho, I told the person sitting next to me that's going to go to 100, and it started in the high 90s,
yeah,
Or
it was
midnight-
95 or
95, I
94,
think.
95.
and I said that's going to 100. And 30 seconds later, it was 100.
Well, it wasn't 30 seconds. I mean, it
Well,
was a
after
little
discussion.
yeah, but 3 judges couldn't talk because they were crying. Do you remember?
Yep.
3 of the judges passed because they were crying. And that meant more to me for that. But anyway, I'll stop sharing. So I'll stop boring you.
Thank you.
But I did it because I enter my portraits. These people say, all you do is enter landscapes. I go, well, I got portraits too. So
Nice
Kevin,
image.
did you enter anything, Kevin?
No, not this year.
Kevin, hi. You're muted.
Yep, I thought I hit the space bar.
No, you're
No, I
good.
did not enter this year.
Okay.
I did not. No, I had just walked away, so I muted. So yeah,
Okay,
no,
no
I
problem.
didn't. I'm just observing and learning.
That's what we're here for, is to learn.
well, often if you heard the results, 1,200 images went lone.
It's going to be a
Wow.
big book.
And 50, I don't know exact number they told me is 50-ish% merited. So this would have been the year to enter, guys, because they were on a love fest.
No, it's just
Yeah.
the work is so much better than in the past.
No, that is actually true. No, they brought that up. We addressed this as judges because when I first started in a long time ago, 17-18% merit rate for PPA was about what it was. And now we're at 50-ish% plus. And I think it's because of programs like this. And we got all the all the creative lives and all the Zoom meetings we've done and everything. Everybody just got the styles have gone. Some of the stuff I don't appreciate, I'll be fair, honest, admit, but people are getting better with their work. And and it's just crazy out there. Some of the stuff we see. You guys, if you watch it, I mean, did everybody watch the judging for 4 days?
Mhm.
It just sucks you in, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's like watching a train wreck.
And when it's over, you're like, what am I supposed to do today?
All this melancholy feeling, you know?
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah.
Oh no, as a judge, I just went down. I go, okay, Sherry, I got to do something. I got to get the hell out of the house because it just wears you out emotionally because you're sitting on a chair, focused for 9 to 10 hours a day, looking at a screen, doing nothing but evaluating images. And it's very, very taxing.
Dennis,
Cool.
do you see many drone images?
Saw a lot this year, and it's interesting. I'm seeing more drone with Mexico and Canada judging than I have the US this year. So I don't know. Last year we had a lot of drone. This year, not as many.
Could be the FAA rules are getting stricter for drones.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there was a couple I flagged because I know damn well that, darn well, they were in national parks, and I flagged them because I don't think they should be allowed to be entering images that were in national parks.
It's illegal to shoot in national parks.
Well,
with
what if
drone.
they were shot before the mandate?
No. No.
Metadata.
Thou shalt not fly a drone in a national park. That's
Say,
been,
Mike,
yes.
say if I want to put one of my prints in the competition, before I send it, can I send it to you guys or you or Dennis and say, is this going to be worthy of working with to go into competition? That said, I know that I'm going to have to submit and see if it's worth it, but before I go ahead and expend the time on this thing.
If you're going to send it to national, don't send it to Dennis because he's a national judge. If you're going to send it to like California or Washington, whichever state you're going to send it into, then yeah, you can send it to one of us as long as we're not judging
Be happy to give my input and tell you how stupid you are.
Mel does that to me every morning, so.
65.
Guys, it's not that I don't want to help, please. I mean, it's not that I don't want to help, but they've asked the judges to, to step back from helping so many people. But Anthony, you're going to go to imaging this year? Are you planning on going to imaging?
Yes.
Then if you're going to go to imaging, what I would recommend everybody is to sign up for a mentor booth, because the judges, we all volunteer for blocks of time, and you can bring competition images or any images, and we can help you evaluate your images at the mentor booth. And everybody goes, will you remember those? Do you remember the conversation I had just at the beginning of this thing? Between all the other stuff I've judged this year, between Mexico, Canada, and US, I've judged probably 20,000 images this year. There's probably a very slim chance I'm going to remember them all. So go to PPA and make sure they put a list on and sign up for the mentor booth.
Okay.
And it's free. And it's free.
Okay.
Go to imaging and look at all the images there, get a loan book or showcase book. Take a look at those, because those are great for ideas for how to do your presentation for the image as well.
Right. I submitted, this is some years ago, I submitted a picture. It was a Kubota dancer at the Vegas, and I had a chance to photograph her. And I submitted it in the PPA, and it missed it by a volt to go loan. So it went out in the smaller book, image or whatever we call. So I married it there. So
yeah,
one vote away from loan.
Hey, Dennis, what's the process this year on Showcase?
Well, Rich has pulled some information about that, but so Showcase is picked by category, and they usually start with the 5-0 images that were like they didn't go loan. So they start with 5-0s and they go down from there, and they take a percentage. And if they have too many percentages in one category, then the IPC committee will determine that 20% or whatever the number they got in there. But generally, if you got a 5-0 but it didn't go loan, then it's probably going to be a pretty good chance of being showcased. But they still haven't got those all done yet.
Okay, cool.
Can't tell you the number, and it's been quite a few of them that were 1 and 4 or 2 and 4, and then they were challenged, and they were convinced that, okay, let's go and merit it. And the judges went along with the judge who was challenging, and it would go 5-0, although in their hearts you could tell they were still 2 and 4. And yet that happened a number of times. And I kept thinking, wow, that's going to show up in the showcase book, and it's really a 2-4. Just a comment.
Well, with all that being said, the judges are instructed to work with each other, listen to each other. And, if they're convinced or said it's, we're, believe it or not, we are in favor of wanting to help everybody out. And so doing so, we will move. There's many times I didn't do that when people were talking because I wasn't convinced, but you're absolutely right, because they went back unanimous. Then those are going to be considered for loan and showcase book, hence / almost loan book. So yeah, John, I understand where you're coming from, but they're, no matter how you look at them, if they've got that far, they're going to be inspirational in some way to look at.
Definitely. Got to keep a positive outlook on it. Even if my work sucks, I got to keep I'm positive it sucked.
That's my showcase image behind me. For last year. Let me get out of the way.
That's cool.
Cool. Where's that one at?
Death Valley.
Okay. Haven't been there for a while. Cool. Does anybody else have anything to add? Any requests for next week? Let me turn the recording off real quick.